Welcome to the Saturday Morning Breakfast Mix, where we highlight the highs and lows of a particular Saturday morning cartoon and maybe some weekday ones that I, as well as many of us, grew up with, and to show why these awesome Saturday morning cartoons made weekends and weekdays just the best, and why seeing them now instantly brings back glorious memories of those carefree childhood days. In a not-too-distant future, household robots rock and roll were created by robot designer Dr. Light and were enjoying their peaceful days. Then one day, the industrial robots all over the world went on a rampage and the world fell into total chaos. Dr. Light quickly realized that his former partner, the now mad scientist Dr. Wily, was behind a nefarious deed but didn't know what to do. One of his creations, a robot named Rock, having a strong sense of justice, volunteered to be converted into a fighting robot, a warrior hero with titanium battle armor. Thus, the super fighting robot known as Megaman was born. His mission? To stop the evil Dr. Wily in his quest for world domination, along with Wily's rebel robot force, the Robot Masters. Megaman, with his faithful companion Rush, the robot dog, go head-to-head against the worst of Wily's bad robots. This is his story.
Super fighting robot, Megaman. 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 Fighting to save the world.
Megaman, also known as Ruby Spears Megaman, is a Japanese animated television series multi-produced by Capcom Productions, Ruby Spears Productions, Ashi Productions, and Ocean Productions, and is based on the video game series of the same name. The TV series began on September 11th of 1994 and ended on December 10th, 1995, and was aired on many syndicated stations at the time. 2 seasons were produced containing 27 episodes with a 3rd season planned, but the show was cancelled due to budget constraints. Megaman was released for the Famicom on December 17, 1987, and is often cited as one of the most renowned video game franchises of all time. The Megaman game series was created specially for the home console market, a first for Capcom, who previously focused on arcade titles. The character was created by Akira Kitamura, with artist Keiji Inafune providing detailed character artwork based on Kitamura's pixel art design. Although Keiji Inafune is often cited as the man who created Megaman, planner Akira Kitamura should probably be the one with that honor. Unfortunately, he's been largely reclusive since leaving the game industry after the development of the now legendary Mega Man 2. Critics received the initial Mega Man game pretty well, though the game sold poorly, which many, including Inafune, would blame on its horrific and confusing North American box art. With little press coverage save for a full-page advertisement in the Nintendo Fun Club News, the game became a sleeper hit overseas by word of mouth for those who had played it. While Mega Man was not a large commercial accomplishment for Capcom, the company decided to allow the development team to make a sequel. Mega Man 2 proved to be such a success that it solidified Mega Man as one of Capcom's longest-running franchises, establishing many of its gameplay, story, and graphical conventions that defined the ensuing sequels, sub-series, and spin-offs. With the success of previous video game-centered cartoons like the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, Captain N, the Game Master, and even shows of the 80s like the CBS Saturday Supercade, having a cartoon based on one of Capcom's most profitable and popular franchises at the time just seemed to be the next logical step. The cartoon aired on Saturday mornings and premiered on September the 11th of 1994. Ruby Spears, one of the producers of the show, redesigned the characters from the Mega Man video games to varying degrees. The animation director for the show was director Kenichiro Watanabe and had a budget of $300,000 per episode. Despite consistent high ratings, the show was cancelled after 2 seasons. The decision to end the cartoon was handed down from Capcom, most likely due to merchandising pressures from toy partner Bandai, which cut several other popular toy lines at the time short due to not meeting sales expectations, including the Tick, Sailor Moon, and Dragon Ball. In a not too distant future, Dr. Light and Dr. Wily were brilliant scientists in the field of robotics who worked together in efforts of trying to advance the science. One day, they finished an extremely advanced prototype, but shortly after being activated, it started destroying their laboratory. Dr. Light immediately believed that the prototype's guidance system, which Dr. Wily had personally programmed, was the source of the problem and concluded they would start over again. Angered, Dr. Wily attempted to steal the plans later that night and succeeds in doing so, but not before Dr. Light catches him in the act. Stealing the plans and the robot prototype, Dr. Wily is never heard from again and uses his time away from society in an abandoned lab, modifying the old robot prototype into Proto Man. As time goes on, Dr. Light builds Rock and Roll, advanced robots with personalities, along with Iceman, Gutsman, and Cutman. Later that evening, Dr. Wily and Proto Man break into Dr. Light's lab in hopes of stealing his newly built robots, but like before, is caught in the act. Rock tries to fend them off, but is unsuccessful. Fearing what Dr. Wily has in store for them if he succeeds, Dr. Light uses his robots to fight off his adversary, but fails as Wily reprograms the later 3 robots and are now under his control. Succeeding once again, Dr. Wily leaves to his fortress, located on the outskirts of the city, and attempts to reprogram Rock and Roll, but is soon tricked by Rock when he tells him that Dr. Light also built super robot warriors, and that if him and his sister Roll are let go, he'll tell him how to defeat the robots. Rock uses this lie, with Dr. Wily believing that robots can't lie, to cause a distraction and escape with Roll. Realizing that Rock used his human emotions to escape Wily's fortress, Dr. Light realizes that he's the only one that could stop Dr. Wily and his robot masters, and believes that with his mixture of conscience, compassion, and self-determination, that he and he alone will have an edge over anything Wily has in store. It is with those attributes that Dr. Light decides to reprogram and re-outfit Rock into Megaman, who, along with his newly created canine companion Rush, keep the world safe from the ever-growing influence of Dr. Wily and his robot masters. Throughout the episodes, Megaman overcomes Wily's various schemes in a similar fashion to that of various cartoon shows animated towards kids, usually ending with Rush acting in a similar vein to Scooby-Doo, which funny enough was voiced by Ian James Corlett, the same voice actor who also voiced the titular hero. Oh, did you know? Although this would be the first official Mega Man cartoon, this wasn't the Blue Bomber's first television appearance. His first animated appearance was as a main character in the series Captain N, the Game Master, which features a myriad of characters that had appeared on Nintendo consoles up until that time. They all aided the title character Captain N in his quest to save the world of Videoland, encountering many villains, including Mega Man's own arch-enemy Dr. Wily. Mega Man's character had a tendency to add the prefix Mega to words for emphasis. Also, it didn't help that he sounded like he goes through 3 packs of Newport today. Also, a 3-episode Japanese anime OVA titled Megaman, Upon a Star was produced in 1993 in an attempt to help spread information on Japanese culture. In it, Megaman crosses paths with his adversary Dr. Wily while learning various facts about Japanese society and receiving occasional help from Proto Man. The OVA is viewed as a series of educational shorts on the culture of Japan. The first episode got an English dub by the Ocean Group shortly afterwards, but the rest didn't get dubbed until 2002 and never was available to the public until 2005 when it finally saw a VHS and DVD release in North America by ADV Films. By the way, do you know anything about the tokusatsu show Ninja Captor? Megaman creator Akira Kitamura had a lot of little influences from manga, anime, and tokusatsu shows. Astro Boy, Casshern, Timebokan, Kikaider, Kamen Rider, among many others, are responsible for giving birth to one of the most recognizable characters in video game history. While we're on that, Roll, Mega Man's sister, originally had a different design. At first, her original design had curly pigtails like Candy Candy, a manga and anime romance series that was popular at the time. However, one of his colleagues, a senior planner at Capcom, saw those designs and told him that since it's rock and roll, shouldn't she have a ponytail instead? It was with that advice that Kitamura changed her hair to what many fans remember her for. There is also a connection between Captain N the Game Master and the Mega Man cartoon. Ian James Corlett, the voice for Mega Man, also provided the voice of Dr. Wily on Captain N. How cool is that? Finally, the following footage is from a promotional video that was created for the Mega Man cartoon shows before the drawing style was changed. The 2-minute promo was made exclusively for potential investors and TV networks so they could have a better idea on who the character is and what the world he inhabits is all about. In fact, some of the footage appears to have been kept in the opening titles for the American show, mostly scenes where there are no characters shown. As you can see, the character designs were more faithful to the games before it was altered and turned into the Americanized cartoon we were given. Ruby Spears decided to make these changes to better appeal to the Western audiences, mostly thanks to focused testing groups suggesting that he should look more like an adult rather than a small boy. When I saw this cartoon airing on Saturday mornings on Fox, the fact that I woke up at 6 AM to watch it just showed how much of a fan I was of the character. I just couldn't take my eyes off the television. Sure, this series moves slightly away from the video game series, but it's still fun to watch. As for the animation, it wasn't really that bad for its time, and yes, there were plenty of plots that were pretty way out there, like the Curse of the Lion People, or the teleport pods that switch Mega Man and Snake Man's body, or the incredible shrinking Mega Man episode for examples. Although not very faithful to the source material in some areas, the show had some interesting stories. Sure, there were some flaws here and there, but when it's all said and done, interesting and entertaining stories are the key to keeping the series alive. I am sure everyone involved had the best intentions when making this series, like bumping up the level of detail to separate this one from the Captain N Mega Man. While some may protest this series, even go as far as call it the worst television series out there, I did not hate this series. It has a special place in my heart, and for the time it was the most faithful version of Mega Man for American audiences. So they have muscles, it really didn't bother me, and heck, you might enjoy it as a so bad it's good kind of thing. I still love watching the show, flaws and all. It is something that made my Saturday mornings totally worth it. And seriously, when they had an episode featuring Mega Man X and the Mavericks, when I saw that episode, it got me so excited. Seriously, you don't know how excited that episode got me. So awesome, especially considering I was playing the Mega Man X games at the time for my Super Nintendo. Take a chance on it, and maybe, just maybe, you might like it too. Thank you so much, and remember, when it comes to cartoons we grew up with, that to truly appreciate something, you have to accept its strengths and its faults, no matter what they are, because when that happens, you can truly appreciate how amazing it was and how amazing it continues to be. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all next time.